Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Just grabbed the morning coffee, and today's a special day because the new Divine Media NSX hoodies and t-shirts, these guys right here, are dropping. And I don't know how many are going to be left by the time this video is up, but if you missed the chance and you want to grab one, link is in the description. If they're gone by the time you get there, I will be probably opening a pre-order in the near future for people that missed out that wanted to get something to be able to order their own. But today's a really good day because we're doing more Supra stuff, and some really good parts just showed up today that I can't wait to show you. Hopefully we can get them on in this video because I'll be hyped. Okay, you guys absolutely destroyed this drop. I had no idea that it was gonna go that quick. We sold out in a day. Gone, one left. Still have more to pack, but all of these are all spoken for. I severely underestimated the amount that I needed, so if you missed the drop, I have pre-orders for these now on the website. You can go and buy one right now. Like I said before, this is my favorite drop by far. Beautiful, beautiful back print. Awesome Blitz 03 Divine Media front print. Available in small through 4XL. Pre-orders are open. They're going to be open until this upcoming Thursday, and from there they will get printed and shipped out. Thank you guys tremendously for this. It absolutely means the world. The stuff that we're about to put onto the Supra's engine in this video would not be possible without you guys and your support. So like I said, it means the world, and thank you so much.
Went to go, look at him. I went to go throw some trash away. Little trash panda. Don't go up that way, dude. What are you doing? Oh, and he's gone.
Okay, now we go to the shop, do some Supra stuff.
We're building this thing. I don't care how much it takes. I am sick of running into issues and little things here and there that I'm forgetting about. Big shout out to my friend Brent in Sarasota. He works at Lexus and was able to source me not only the correct oil pump, but the correct water pump and everything for this car. So I'll leave his channel name on the screen. He posts a lot of cool stuff. He has an IS drift car. Not only that, I also have the correct backing plate now. So this should be what I need to continue this and get this thing actually assembled. So I'm gonna start tinkering on this and see if we can get back to where we were before we had to take things off again. Well, I'm pleased to say that that went perfectly. Both cam gears are on, tight, torqued to 59 foot-pounds, and backing plate is on. We're good there, which means now it's time for water pump, and then after that we can get to timing this thing, getting the whole front of this kind of sealed up, and then we get to move to the fun stuff, which is all the beautiful accessories that I have for this, and I'm looking at them over here, and they're so good, so good. But we're gonna take care of the water pump now. Also have the water neck. I'm gonna need that. Don't need that right now. So I'm gonna get this guy all ready to go, get the O-ring in there, and get this mounted, and we can move on. Unfortunately, I cannot track down two of the remaining bolts for here and here. So tomorrow I'll go and get some nice bolts that match and go from there. But now I'm going to get the tensioner on, and I actually have a billet tensioner from, I think it was Titan, but I have a new OEM one here that I'm gonna swap the mounting point off for the billet one and then get that installed, and then I think it's timing belt time. Engine's at TDC, everything should be correct there. So far so good. I'm getting pretty friggin' excited here. So if I can get the front of the engine done to where I can get all of the plastics on and I can get the valve covers on and things like that and start dressing it, I'll be stoked. she is coming together. So got the tensioner on, bolt Loctited, torqued to 35 Newton meters. Have the tensioner in, not tight and not pulled. Obviously you need this to have some, I'm talking like I know what I'm doing. I'm watching videos and researching this while I'm doing this. Now, with the engine at TDC, I think we're ready for the timing belt. So I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna grab my new Gates timing belt and we're gonna get this thing on. So I've watched a couple videos on how to do this and I kind of have an idea. I'm stoked though. This is a big moment. This thing getting timed. After that, all the plastic pieces and other stuff can go on, and this is it. Time for a little Jay-Z ASMR.
It's late, but we were able to get done what I wanted to get done for tonight. The thing is timed
and ready to go on the front side. Still waiting on doing some stuff. I tried doing some trim black on this, but I don't like the way that it looks. It's very dry looking, so I'm gonna refresh that tomorrow with some different paint. As far as the bolts, they're kind of giving me OCD because not all of them match. These cover bolts, I want to go to the hardware store tomorrow and get new ones that all match. Same thing with some of the other bolts, like the bolts that go up here and things like that. I have the main cover for this as well, like this new cover, and I want to make sure that all of the hardware matches on that as well. So I'll do that in the morning. I also have a brand new alternator in here as well, so we can maybe mock that up tomorrow. Start using some of the beautiful Titan Motorsports billet pulleys.
This thing's coming along, it's getting there. I'm very, very excited.
Another thing that I want to install tomorrow that I need to ask help for, I'm not afraid to admit that. I have an ATI damper that's gonna go on here and want to make sure that that is all good to go.
I'm stoked, she's getting there. All right, so it is the next day. Went to the hardware store this morning and picked up some nice little zinc. Was gonna go start to mount all of the plastic bits and all of the other accessories on here, but started raining and didn't have a chance to paint them, at least paint, like refresh the plastic pieces before it started raining. So I'm waiting for it to finish raining so I can paint them, so I don't paint them in here, and then we'll be good there. It is now time for the ATI Super Damper. It's a very common issue with JZs that the actual harmonic pulley will just shear itself off, and I don't want to run into that, especially if I'm trying to make decent power. So a good upgrade is a Super Damper. Eliminates weird harmonics, prevents oil pump, timing chain, timing belt failures, power and torque, all the good stuff. Some of them come pre-assembled. Thankfully, mine was, so it's basically just getting that to go onto this, getting this pressed onto the crank, and then getting everything Loctited and torqued down properly. So I'm gonna follow the instructions and figure out how to do this, and yeah. Alright, that was an absolute fucking nightmare to put on. Maybe some of you guys know that from putting dampers on in the past, but this one, they have to make their tolerances to the crank like 0.001, the tightest tolerance ever. I heated this thing up for like a solid 20 minutes and it still was fighting me going on. The wood that I was using, broken pieces, was flying everywhere, just got wood shit everywhere. I'm gonna double check the engine and everything before I seal it up, make sure there's no... Finally was able to get this thing on to where I think it's tight. I'm not going to torque this bolt yet, just because if for some reason we need to adjust this, it's at TDC and everything, like it's put on there correctly. Honestly, if I tried to torque this thing down outside of the car, I probably couldn't do it anyways. So
I'm gonna hold off torquing this down for now. It's tight. We're at TDC, as you can see right there, in comparison to the dots here. So we're good there. Front of the engine is pretty much wrapped up. I think now what I want to do is get the top sealed up. So I'm gonna go grab some stuff and we're gonna get this all sealed up and looking OEM fresh. So for starters, I have a nice shiny product to add, which is a PRP coil pack conversion kind of bracket. And that is going to help me hold down the coil packs that I got for this thing. PRP is an amazing company, and for those that don't know, you can get yours at Drift HQ. They stock everything. They even put a little in the corner. If you know, you know. If you buy one of these, look for a little. They always put them in here. I also have a batch of Hitachi coil packs, and I adapted the PRP rubber bushing onto that, so that will sit down in here. Hitachi rubber comes off, make sure spring goes in home. That's nicely seated. Obviously don't have spark plugs right now. My goal is to just seal up the engine so I no longer have to keep putting bags on it and, you know, get this thing ready to go in the car, because it's close. Telling you guys, if you do anything with a 2J or a 1J, you need to get this gasket kit. It will save your ass, and it is very, very worth having. All right, I think I've made you guys wait long enough for the fun stuff. Just got the alternator on. That's all good to go. Crank sensor is in. Just little things that I might forget about. But it's time for the fun stuff. The stuff that makes this video and I'm just extremely excited to put on this engine. Obviously, I had tons of exhaust choices and intake choices and turbo choices and things like that. When it came down to the exhaust manifold, I wanted like the top tier manifold that I could get. Beautiful tubular manifold. And I ended up working with a guy named Alex. Alex runs BPA, and he makes some of the nicest exhaust manifolds I have ever seen. And he made one for this car. I'm gonna show it to you right now. Look at how beautiful this piece is. Like, absolutely stunning. Beautiful welds. Twin scroll, 3 to 2 to 1 with a billet collector. V-band for turbo, V-band for wastegate. Seamless construction, like welded all the way through. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I'm gonna leave his Instagram on the screen right now. Be sure to check out his stuff because he also has his own Supra that he builds for what I can assume is drag racing, because the thing is making crazy power and the setup is beautiful. The entire time that he was making this manifold for me, he was texting me, sending me progress photos. He actually watches the channel, which is very cool. He's an awesome dude. Obviously there's no studs in this thing right now, but I do have a PRP exhaust stud kit. So I'm gonna get this stuff put on, and then I need to see this manifold on this thing. It is gonna be so beautiful, like the perfect tie between OEM Plus and like new tech. It's gonna be good. Alex, dude, you outdid yourself again. Absolutely beautiful. I could not have asked for a better manifold setup. Now, it wouldn't be a complete setup without a turbo. So even though I can't really put the turbo on and keep it on right now, I'm gonna show you guys what I have, mock it up on there, and we can get kind of the look of this thing with the new turbo. So just like so many other parts that I got for this thing, I got this through Drift HQ. If you need turbo stuff, they have everything. I'm going with a G35-900 from Garrett, and this thing is gonna rip. I have the intake side and the exhaust side separate right now, so I have to mate those two and assemble them, and then we can put them onto the manifold and see how it's gonna look. Also, I know there's a lot of time lapsing in this video. Sorry, I'm just one guy. I wish that I could have a camera hovering next to me while I'm doing all this, but can't, so. So much time wasted forgetting to get parts and buying parts that weren't correct, and all because of the lack of knowledge that I have. But it is so refreshing to see this thing like almost there. Like couple more little things, couple missing bolts that I need to go get, and this thing's ready to go back in the car. Like, I was gonna say that I probably don't need to keep the turbo on here, but seeing as it's so far tucked over and it doesn't leave any bigger of a footprint than the actual manifold, I could probably leave the turbo on for now. Still need to get, I tried to use these nuts, but they don't clear under the manifold. I need to get a special kind of nut, which Alex actually texted me a couple days ago about. So I'm gonna get that ordered and be able to like actually mount the manifold fully. Water neck behind here is mounted, that comes back to here. Motor mount is on both sides. Shout out to Steal It. Steal It makes everything look brand friggin' new. Stoked on that. Matches the valve covers. But yeah, there's really not that much left to do on this that I couldn't do in the engine bay. Like I don't see anything that's easier to do outside of the car than it would be inside of the car, minus like putting the AC compressor and the power steering stuff on. But that's just a couple brackets and a couple bolts, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Have some studs coming for the intake so that I can put the manifold on. I have another very, very, very nice piece to put on this side, so I'm very, very excited about that. Need to get a new gasket for the oil filter housing, and then other than that, I think it's ready to go back in the car. We're very close. We're very, very, very close, which is gonna be a huge check off my list, and it's gonna be so refreshing to see. This beautiful OEM Plus setup in this brand new painted engine bay with a refreshed harness and everything. Oh, it's gonna be so good. It's another late night. I'm gonna probably cut this night and trail into tomorrow, so I'm fucking pumped at how this looks. Need I say more? It's absolutely beautiful. I love this. New day, new stuff to put on. So I need to figure out how to get these guys cleaned up the best that I can. My AC compressor, my power steering pump, reservoir, things like that. I'm pretty confident that I could probably get them back to how this guy looks here. See if I can clean them up the best that I can. I do have a new pulley for the pump for with the Titan Motorsports pulley kit, so that'll help freshen that up a little bit, but we'll see. Happy with how these pieces turned out. AC compressor cleaned up pretty damn well as the power steering and reservoir and stuff. I Steel It blacked the actual pump itself, so that looks nice. Everything looks nice. Very stoked. So now I'm gonna try, I don't have the studs for this yet, but I just need to see what it looks like on this car. So I have my intake manifold. Been dying to see what this engine's gonna look like complete when it's in the car. So I'm gonna unbox the intake manifold, clean my hands because they're disgusting, and then see how that looks, because that is gonna be the final piece to this beautiful puzzle, and it looks so good. So this is the final piece to the aesthetic puzzle for this car, and that would be beautiful. Plasma Man raw intake manifold. The guys over at Plasma Man make phenomenal products, and I am stoked to have one of these for my car. This thing is going to set off the bay so well. It'll match the head, it'll match the turbo, everything. It's gonna be so good.
So let's get this thing bolted on temporarily. I don't have the correct studs and hardware yet. That's showing up tomorrow, but I can't not put this on. So let's see what it looks like. Issue number one. It hits my reservoir. Y'all see that, right? The little reservoir bung here. Hitting the plasma man. That's not cool. That's not what I want.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. Right now, I noticed that the power steering reservoir does not fit with the plasma man on because of this bung, so I'll probably have to figure out like a 90-degree bung or something like that I can run to kind of get it out of the way. For now, I just have it resting in place, but look at this thing. It is so beautiful. Fun fact about Plasma Man is these are not machine welds. These are done by hand, and their fabricators are robots. It is unbelievable.
At this point, I think the engine's ready to go back in the car.
Entire front is completely dressed up. Got manifold on, got turbo on, water pump, alternator, sensor, intake manifold, AC, power steering kinda, motor mounts. I really don't see anything else that I could do to this thing that I couldn't do in the engine bay. So, I think it's time that we put it in the car. Need to like route a couple things and stuff like that, but oh, it's gonna be so good. This has been highly anticipated and is the kind of grand finale of this video, getting this thing back in the car. It's a huge check off my list. It's gonna feel amazing to know that it's now back in here. I don't think that it will ever need to come out because this is the engine that's supposed to be in here, so there's shouldn't be any weird things that I have to work around. I use my NA engine hoist mounts and shaved them down a little bit just to fit on the turbo head, but it's off the ground. I'm gonna disconnect it from the stand and hopefully I can get it in here. Well, because of the rubber on the floor, I can't scoot this thing forward. It just keeps binding on the rubber, so I'm gonna bring the car to it. My first time ever using an engine hoist, and also my first time ever taking an engine out and putting it back in without a single casualty, no scuff, no scrape, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Woo! This has got me fucking fired up right now. That's it. She's in. Not one scratch. Now we simply just It's also stuck. Everything has been worth it to see this right now.
to know that I bought this car a year and a half ago, NA, automatic, started working on it in January, pulled this thing out. This engine bay was absolutely disgusting. Gutted the whole thing, got the entire bay repainted, all the brackets and plastics and harness and everything refreshed to go with the engine, stripped the engine down to a bare block, built a turbo head for it, reassembled everything, made sure everything was super nice, all refreshed on here. And now to get to see this with the beautiful BPA manifold, Garrett G35 900, Plasma Man, power by wire, raw intake manifold, brand new top cover, brand new valve covers, brand new front cover, Titan Motorsport pulleys, ATI damper, brand new alternator water pump. This is such a good feeling. It's not bolted in right now because this car isn't really going to be going anywhere anytime soon. But today has been this entire video has been extremely productive, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. This is the reward, to be able to see what this thing is going to look like in here. And it was all worth it. It was 100% worth it. It is extremely late. Everyone's home eating. I'm starving. I haven't eaten anything all day. I've just been in here working on this thing. I'm gonna go eat some Chinese food, gawk at all of the pictures that I took of this thing, and enjoy the rest of my night. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like. If you haven't gotten a chance to get an NSX hoodie or t-shirt, like I said in the beginning of the video, the pre-orders are live. The first batch sold out within a day, so I opened pre-orders so people still have a chance to get them, and that pre-order ends Thursday. Link is in the description. I couldn't do any of this stuff without you guys. You guys are the ones that make stuff like this happen and come to life, and part of the big reason why I love doing this stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.
I don't think I've ever given a walk around of this car since like the first day that I got it, but I'll pop the hood. I don't think I've ever shown the engine bay, but I mean, shut this thing off too. This thing, the only thing is that this thing has like a rear main seal leak, pretty bad. So she's always a little stinky, but keep her topped off. That's what that's for. Engine bay. Not really a whole lot to see in here, but the bones are good. The bones are there. And yeah, my main task is going to be taking every single thing out of this car, out of this engine bay, painting it, full GTE setup, single turbo. But right now I'm just looking to make like 450, 500. Because 1,000 is terrifying, and I'd probably die.